M. Night Shyamalan is back with a brand new horror film. From its star-studded cast to its strange premise and sooner-than-expected release date, here's everything we know about Old so far. Movies don't appear out of thin air, of course, and M. Night Shyamalan actually began laying the official groundwork for Old as early as 2019 and may have read the source material that inspired the film way back in 2017. In September 2019, it was announced that Shyamalan had partnered up with studio Universal Pictures for 2 more feature films. The films, both described as thrillers, were at the time slated for release on February 26, 2021 and February 17, 2023, but no additional information was shared publicly at the time. M. Night Shyamalan has amassed a talented bunch of actors for the film. Phantom Thread actress Vicky Krieps and Mozart in the Jungle actor Gael Garcia Bernal play Priska and Guy, the couple who first noticed the beach's bizarre effects when their young son Trent quickly turns into a fully grown man. Trent is played by Alex Wolff, who you may know from Hereditary. Jojo Rabbit star Thomasin McKenzie will also appear as the older version of Maddox, Priska and Guy's daughter, and Trent's sister. Additionally, Embeth Davidtz, probably best known to the masses as Miss Honey from Matilda, and Man in the High Castle's Rufus Sewell play a married couple who are among the group affected by the creepy side effects of this holiday destination. The Devil All the Time star Eliza Scanlon is also part of the Old cast, playing yet another child rapidly aged up. For the upcoming film, Lost alum Ken Leung returns to the big screen for the first time since 2015's Star Wars The Force Awakens. With a cast in place and a green light for production flashing, the Old team could begin filming. Yes, even amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Luckily for Old, the situation regarding the novel coronavirus had somewhat settled down from its initial worldwide surge in the early months of 2020 by the time principal photography was looking to begin in September of that year. Many movie and television show productions that were forced to suspend filming indefinitely beginning in March and April 2020 got the cameras rolling once again in the early autumn months, so it was prime time for Old to start shooting as well. Shyamalan took to Twitter on September 26, 2020 to announce that filming had begun. That day was also the first time anyone in the public learned that film was titled Old. He wrote in the caption, "Feels like a miracle that I'm standing here shooting the first shot of my new film. It's called Old." Getting started on filming Old may have felt miraculous, but it wasn't always blue skies and sunshine. And we mean that literally. Old was shot in the Dominican Republic, which is quite a far leap from Shyamalan's hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where he shot most of his previous movies. Speaking during a panel at the 2021 Tribeca Film Festival, M. Night Shyamalan got candid about some of the obstacles he ran into while filming Old, even in such a beautiful location. "We were the first movie to shoot and cast in the pandemic, and the way we were making a movie was very new. I was making up the rules because I was the first one. We didn't have a single positive case, which is fantastic, even if it's very scary. But because of this, we had to push from May into hurricane season." Shyamalan continued, "There was a hurricane before filming began, and it took the sets and just destroyed them. We decided to build again, but the biggest concern was that the beach had eroded. There was no beach for our beach movie. Thankfully, part of the beach came back on the first day of shooting. But because of the complex nature of the film's story, another issue was keeping a tight schedule, juggling tons of different actors on the set each day, and regularly sending actors to and from hair and makeup. The actors are aging, and it's one day in the movie, so if an actor was playing Alex Wolff's character young, they would be in the morning, then another would be in the daytime, and then there'd be another actor later. There was all these prosthetics, and it was a very complicated thing." Actor Alex Wolff, who moderated the Tribeca Film Festival panel, said it felt like kismet to be filming a movie about time stopping during an era of history where a pandemic has made time feel unreal. Hurricanes, complicated schedules, and prosthetics be darned, Old wrapped production on November 15th, 2020, less than 2 months after filming started. Shyamalan tweeted, "Wrapped production on Old the movie. It was an incredible experience. Beyond grateful to the people of the Dominican Republic who are so caring and welcoming. It is one of the most beautiful countries filled with the sweetest people. Thinking of you as I head back to Philly." Before filming even began, though, Universal Pictures announced that Old, then one of Shyamalan's 2 untitled thrillers, wouldn't debut on February 23, 2021 as intended. Instead, it would launch on July 23rd. The Super Bowl teaser for Old confirms the July 23rd release date, and the film is currently on schedule to arrive in theaters on that day. As for when Old will be available to stream from home, there's been no word just yet, but it definitely seems like the type of movie that would perform well as a rental. On the same day that M. Night Shyamalan announced the start of filming, Collider ran an exclusive report revealing both the basic premise of Old and the graphic novel that inspired it, Sandcastle, written by Pierre-Oscar Lévy and illustrated by Frederick Peters. In a tweet posted on June 24, 2017, Shyamalan shared a photo of 6 graphic novels and comics spread out on a table. He captioned it, quote, "Next up to read to inspire #glass writing." One of the written works seen in the photo was Sandcastle. According to an insider close to Collider, someone gifted Shyamalan Sandcastle for Father's Day, and after reading it, he reached out to the appropriate people and bought the screen rights to the work. While Sandcastle may have had some sort of impact on Shyamalan's 2019 feature Glass, it actually ended up spurring the filmmaker to create an entirely new movie. Old sees a family trapped on a secluded beach as everyone begins to age at a terrifying rate. The group quickly start to lose their sanity as they no longer recognize their own selves. And the film even uses a dash of body horror for good measure, as a surprise pregnancy catches a young woman off guard in a truly disturbing fashion. The footage of Old shown at the 2021 Super Bowl shows members of the group searching for answers across the beach, with shots of Alex Wolff and Thomasin McKenzie's characters investigating something in a cave. With Shyamalan's infamous love of shocking third-act revelations, it'll be interesting to see why the horrifying phenomenon is happening to this specific group of people. One line of dialogue even suggests that it's being done to them by someone or something.
We're here for a reason.
Meanwhile, Sandcastle centers around 13 people trapped on a beach who begin unraveling a sister secret about time. Old isn't fully based off Sandcastle, just inspired by it, and the graphic novel doesn't offer much explanation behind the horrifying events. Instead, it's more of an analysis of the human condition. Back in 2013, Peters told Comic Book Resources that a shocking twist was originally part of the ending, but was scrapped because it, quote, would have destroyed the frightening dimension of the book. Perhaps viewers will see Lévy's original ending on the big screen. Well, maybe not. According to M. Night Shyamalan himself, he's still working on the ending of Old as of late June 2021. At the 2021 Tribeca Film Festival, the filmmaker described Old as being subversive and even inappropriate, then dropped the bombshell that he's tinkering with the film's ending to ensure the story is left on just the right note. I'm deciding on the minor note. How to end on a minor note. Another one of Shyamalan's movies that ends in such a way is Unbreakable, the 2000 superhero thriller starring Bruce Willis as the titular unbreakable man David Dunn and Samuel L. Jackson as the secretly nefarious Elijah Price, who's revealed to be the big bad. Shyamalan is hoping to replicate the feeling of that reveal from Unbreakable in the ending of Old, hence why he's still adjusting it a month out from release. Shyamalan added that Unbreakable ends on a kind of a dip, right? He goes to the dark note, that minor note at the end. The guy you thought was the best friend is the villain. The minor note sticks to you forever. As is par for the course with any M. Night Shyamalan film, many different theories about Old have surfaced online as curious movie fans try to predict what the whole thing is really about. One theory is that the parents who are stuck on the beach are suffering from dementia and it's affecting their perception of time and reality. Reddit user, The Dumbest Timeline, was one of many who posited this idea, and it actually holds some weight. Shyamalan's own father has dementia. The filmmaker said during the 2021 Tribeca Film Festival, "My father's very old right now. He has dementia, he comes and goes." Shyamalan has implemented dementia as a storytelling device in 2015's The Visit, however, so as plausible as this theory seems, one might be able to rule it out on the possible basis of Shyamalan wanting to avoid repetition. Another old theory is that we're dealing with good old-fashioned time loop. One Twitter user noted that both she and her husband subscribe to this theory. It's a basic one, but it makes a lot of sense. On the other side, perhaps there's some sort of dangerous entity controlling time on the island, more specifically, the beach and the water, and is punishing the humans for whatever reason. One Redditor thinks that, quote, "the twist will be that time was moving faster, yet their brains were not." Another user on Reddit believes that something along these lines will play out. The ocean was stuck in time, but there were pockets in space-time that were kinda still keeping up through regular time, so they aged faster when they just actually caught up with time. Or maybe none of that will ring true, and Shyamalan will subvert expectations by not including a third-act twist like he usually does. Only time will tell.
It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma!
Whatever ends up happening in Old, twist ending or no twist ending, one thing is for certain. The movie will be unlike anything you've seen before, from M. Night Shyamalan or any other film director. At least, that's what Shyamalan has promised is the case. He said at the Tribeca Film Festival, "No one has ever seen anything like it, in its tone, and the way it's just, it's like nothing else." Of course, there's a big chance that Shyamalan has an inflated opinion of Old since it's a movie he wrote, directed, and produced, but there's little denying that hype for the film is real. Many online have expressed their excitement to see Old once it arrives in theaters on July 23rd, and countless fans have stated that even if Old doesn't live up to all their expectations, they're just eager to find out what's truly going on in the story, how it all comes together, and what it all means. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.